Hi, good morning. The first topic of discussion in Unit 3 is command line structure. So, what is why we are discussing here and what is a command line structure? So, in conventional languages, in every program is nothing but a sequence of statements, and every statement ends with a semicolon. For example, in C programming language, it happens like that. So, in a similar manner, even in Unix programming, Unix programming, so a shell is a component which acts as a command processor, where we actually give the commands to the shell. So what happens is, whenever you give a command to the shell, so we can either give as a single word or as multiple words. If it is a single word, you can either end with semicolon or you can't do semicolon at the end. So but if you given more than one command at the command prompt, then it is must and you should separate the commands with the semicolon. So that is the purpose of semicolon. So a semicolon is used as a command separator, and also it is used as a command terminator also. That means you can type date followed by semicolon. So it simply gives the output of the date command. And also I also told that semicolon is also a command separator. That means date semicolon who. If you give like that, what happens is, so first date command is executed, then who command is executed. And if you want to give the output of date semicolon who to a WC command, so you can do that using pipe. What is pipe in Unix? So pipe is a operator used to connect between the commands. For example, if you give date semicolon who pipe WC, and if there are only two users are currently connected to the Unix system, then it will give 2 space 16 space 64. That means 2 lines, 16 words and 64 characters. Or if it is 95 characters. So it depends upon the size of the file, okay, size of the output of the who command. So for example, suppose, because even though you give date semicolon who pipe WC, only who output is given to WC, but not the date semicolon who. So because semicolon is having the lesser precedence when compared to the pipe, so that's why who pipe WC, so first is executed first, is taken as one term and date is taken another term. So who pipe WC is executed rather than date semicolon who, rather than executing date semicolon who. So for this purpose, what we are doing is we can override the priority. How can we override this? By enclosing the date semicolon who in the brackets. So if you do date semicolon in parentheses, what happens is date semicolon who is first executed, then the output is given to the WC command. So hence what we are doing is date semicolon who is enclosed in braces, and the output of date semicolon who is given to WC. You know, to count the number of lines, number of words and number of characters. So this is what happening in normal way, because the precedence of pipe is greater than the semicolon. So in order to make the semicolon priority higher when compared to pipe, date semicolon who is enclosed in parentheses and given to WC. So it will give the output in number of lines, number of words and number of characters. So this is how the termination, this is how the syntax for more than one command will exist. And suppose if I want to run the process in background, so how can I do? You can use ampersand operator. So simply I can do date ampersand. So that means date command will immediately the process ID will be written and date command will execute in the background. Date command and T operator. So T is the operator used to store the intermediate output. For example, if I want date semicolon who and pipe enclosed in parentheses and pipe T space save pipe WC. So what happens is, so date semicolon who is executed first, and date first date is executed, then who is executed, and the output is stored in a file called save. And again the output is given to the WC. So WC is used to count the number of words, number of lines and number of characters in the given output. So here the output is stored in save file. So we can also give WC space save. WC space less than space save. So less than is redirection operator, which is used to read the input from a file called save rather than from the terminal. So this is a best example for reading the input from the file rather than from the terminal. So this is one example. Okay, so what will happen is, in this case it will give the number of lines, number of words, number of characters as the output. So this is about using the T command. So next is how to run the process in background. So suppose if it is long, if any command takes more time, so we will prefer such commands to run in the background. So for example, date, for example, I want to, for example, date semicolon. So I want to know the date after 5 seconds. So what I can do is sleep space 5 semicolon date and brackets ampersand dates followed by date space date. So what happens is, first the date which is after the ampersand gets executed first, and those which is written in brackets preceded by ampersand is executed next, because the background process ID is written, after that the foreground date is executed, then after 5 seconds again the date command is ran, because we call the date 2 times. So one in braces and one is outside the braces after the ampersand by giving the space. So in this way there are two times the date command is executed. Okay, clear? So like this we can also, another example is echo command. So sleep space 300 semicolon echo T will be ready. So put in brackets, after that put ampersand and like giving space and again give echo T is ready. So what will happen is, so echo the statement which is outside the semicolon, that means outside the braces first execute. So echo T will be ready, will be executed first, or sleep 300, so 300 seconds. So the argument to the sleep command is seconds. So 300 seconds. So 300 seconds means 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes you will get the output as T is ready. You get the output as T is ready. So this is the way we can run the process in background using ampersand operator. So that means a command terminator can also be a ampersand operator. So like this we can have several examples on this concept. And we can, suppose we want to create a new file, that means greater than echo junk, echo hello greater than junk, then that means hello is written into a file called junk. Okay, so the same command can be executed like this also, greater than junk echo hello. That means we are redirecting the standard. Greater than junk writing first means we are redirecting the output from the standard output to a file called junk, and echo space and echo hello is printed into the file called junk rather than onto the standard terminal. So this is a best example of a but greater than, less than, pipe. So what are all these? So these are nothing but a special symbols. They have some special meaning that we will discuss in the second topic in unit 3, that is in self meta characters. So here another important point is, so some commands like grep, interpret. So echo there is no interpretation using it, because it will display as it is, whereas grep and who command, so echo will not interpret, it is used just to display the message. So it will display as is whatever you give. So that's why what we are discussing in command line structure is, every command ends with a semicolon or ampersand. If it ends with a semicolon, then it is nothing but a command terminator. And also we can override the priority by simply putting the commands in braces. So that is also we have discussed. And also we have discussed that ampersand could also be a terminator. So in that case the process will run in the background by returning the background process ID. So this is about the shell command line structure. So